Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Halo 2 anniversary footage once again. I've been playing quite a bit of H2A, haven't played H2C at all, or Halo 2 Classic, because from what I've seen, Halo 2 Classic looks almost entirely broken. I've seen on Twitter, like, this is something I see in the Halo community a lot, and I just find it really, really irritating, is some people will go, hey guys, give Free for Free a break, man, like, you don't know how hard it is to make games, and you don't know what it's like, like, just all this sort of comment and like, or that it's not that big a deal, and it's like, it's okay, they'll get round to it. It's just natural. Like, it's not our job as consumers to be game testers. If you're annoyed about Halo 2 Classic being busted, you have every single right to be annoyed about it. And being a fan of something doesn't mean that you have to basically suck its balls every 2 seconds and be like, dude, everything about Halo 2, Halo is amazing, everything, I think it's great that Free for Free do everything in their power. Like, it doesn't mean it. It doesn't mean that you can't be, like, open-minded and say the good things about it. Like, for me, the good things are that, like, Halo 2 Anniversary is really, really fun and seems to work super, super well, at least in my experience. Like, the hit section feels really good. I've only had, like, one crash the entire time I've played, and I think I know why that crash happened. It's because I, like, alt-tabbed out at a weird loading screen. But other than that, it's been super fun. But regardless, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to harp on about Halo 2 Classic because I'm not that interested in Halo 2 Classic. So as much as I'm sure it is annoying for some people, it's not going to be the main focus of this video. The first thing I want to talk about is Forge maps. I've been playing a bunch of Forge maps. You can see one in the background right now. This one is actually my least favorite Forge map. Of the bunch. I think it got voted in some competition that happened in 2019, or something like that, or maybe late 2018. And I think it's absolutely disgraceful, and I have no idea what people were thinking when they voted it. I mean, maybe it works on 6v6 a little bit better, but as far as BTB maps go, like, parts of this map remind me of Burial Mounds from Halo 2, but it's just not as good as Burial Mounds in any shape or form, IMO. Like, there's so few, like, shortcuts, the power weapons are not put in interesting positions, the overshields, there's, like, two overshields, one on either side. Just like, why? Like, why is this a thing? I don't understand. Like, I don't think it's a good map, personally. I'll go over the other Forge maps because I haven't been playing Halo 2 Anniversary, so even if these Forge maps were on Xbox for a little while, I haven't had the time to review them or let you guys know what I think of them. One of the other ones I've played is Select, which is the Narrows remake. I'm not sure if it's the Halo Reach Narrows remake. I don't think it is because I think that one has more cover on the side parts, whereas this is more open on the side parts. But I have a feeling it is a remake that was made before, maybe in Halo 4. I'm not entirely sure, but I actually really enjoy it. I've always loved Narrows. It's one of my favorite classic Halo maps, and it's fairly faithful to the original. The snipers are in a different place. Like, in Halo 3, the snipers are bottom of the base, but in this one, they're on the sides of the base. And the man cannon, instead of being on the sides of the base, is now on the bottom of the base. So it is a little bit swapped around. But for the most part, it seems to work quite nicely. It seems to flow quite nicely. I think they've put the man cannon at the bottom so that you have more cover, so that you're not just flying aimlessly to your death. There's a little bit more chance that you might get in there hidden. And overall, it's really great. There's also a Guardian kind of remix. It's really hard to call it a remake because instead of having a sniper at Sniper Tower, there is a rocket launcher at Sniper Tower at the back of the map. Kind of on like a leap of faith, similar to Ascension. And the sniper rifle spawns at top gold, or like top lift on original Guardian. I really enjoy it. It's got some lighting problems, which a couple of the Forge maps have. It gets really dark in places where there's too much cover. And a lot of people have been complaining about that in the matchmaking groups that I've been running. But because of its similarities to Guardian, I love it personally. I am such a Guardian fanboy. And I really, really enjoy it. Then there's one more map. Actually, there's two more maps. There's an Onyx remake from Halo 4, which Onyx is kind of like a remix of Midship. You can't really go wrong with Midship, and I think I've always preferred Onyx to Midship. I just like the more open layout. I didn't like the fact that you used to be able to camp on top of Top Pink, I think it was in Midship, where you could get on top of that little purple overhang. I always thought that was really irritating when people would camp up top of their mid-sneeze commentary. And they would camp on top of there, and they would just get these angles on you in base that were really frustrating, and it feels like they could head glitch it and stuff like that. And that doesn't seem to be present any longer. And then on Onyx, it's just a little bit more simplistic. You've got the overshield top middle. I think there's a sword on it actually that spawns, which is a little bit different to what we're used to, and there is a shotgun. But overall, it's just a great map. And then there is one other map, which again is a little bit similar to this map in that it's not my favorite, but it definitely works better than this map particular. There's a little bit of a no man's land on top. It's kind of like a trench warfare almost sort of system where you can go underground and there's lots of flanking routes. There's a rocket launcher bottom middle. It is overall like a decent map, but I don't really like the top area. A lot of people seem to camp in the bases in it, and it seemed quite easy to hide back in the bases and find a lot of cover, and then it would devolve into a nade fest, which, like, if the map design isn't good on Halo 2 Anniversary, that seems to be one of the problems that comes up a lot, is that nades just become, like, all-powerful nukes of destruction and warfare, especially the fact that you can carry 4 of each type. It just makes sense to chuck a lot of nades. It's also got sniper rifles that spawn on top of the bases, which come in with 4 bullets apiece, which, you know, is nice, but obviously, me being the sniper that I am, and several people being the snipers that they are, would probably prefer more bullets than 4, but you take what you can. In general, my philosophy with Forge maps, in this point in Halo's lifespan, is that I think there's so many classic Halo maps, and maps that have just been tried and tested in Forge before, that I think I would prefer to see remakes over, or reimaginings even, over new maps altogether. And I don't really like the fact. I mean, I get that they want a contest, but that doesn't necessarily fly for me. You know, we don't know how big the contests are. Maybe Halo didn't have the biggest population numbers going when the contest ran, so they didn't get the biggest voting pool, the biggest creators pool. That's personally what I think has happened, because this map in particular, I'm just like, how did this pass a Forge contest? I have zero idea. But in general, I think it will be one of the biggest things that pushes the game forward, is the Forge content, and whether or not they will add more to it, because I think if you played on the base maps, especially I've been playing Precision Slayer, which is 4v4 with battle rifles, the map pool, if it was just default maps, is pretty low, and I don't even think Ascension works that great on 4v4 Slayer. It gets very campy very quickly, especially if you're against good players. You will get into a lot of stalemates, which feel kind of, you know, repetitive. And then, what's the other map? It's not Shrine. Shrine's great. Lockout's great. Warlord, amazing. Can't get enough of Warlord. Um, but overall, you know, I think they're going to come into a problem where, like, I think this is why I stopped playing H2A on Xbox anyway, is because the map pool just got way too repetitive. And as much as I love Halo 2 classic maps, I think they look amazing in this game as well. You know, I have also played them a lot on previous games. I've played them on Reach, I've played them on Classic, and although these might be one of the best iterations of those maps, so that will keep me going a bit longer, if you just have a couple of Forge maps sprinkled in to, like, mix up the pace, and it really does mix up the pace because they feel completely different, especially if they belong from a different game. I think a lot of the Halo 2 maps, whilst they feel great and I love them, because they're built around the Halo 2 mechanics, they feel very much Halo 2-ish. And then when you play a map from Halo 3 or a map from Halo 4 or whatever it might be, then it feels like you're playing something completely different altogether. And, you know, a cheeky Haven remake to see how it might play in Halo 2 Anniversary, or a cheeky Simplex remake from Halo 4 Forge. You know, more Halo 3 remakes. I just don't think they could go amiss. Whether or not that's something they're planning on. A lot of the time, my biggest concern with Halo at the moment is that we kind of get the C team working on MCC, I feel like, because they're so focused on Infinite, which makes perfect sense, but it does, like, kind of leave you feeling left in the lurch sometimes. And also, like, Halo is such a golden goose egg that, like, when they're kind of separate from working on these classic Halo titles, or they're not putting all the effort that you might like, it feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity, because they're such amazing games, there's so much love for them, especially, like, I feel like the PC are just ready and willing to support it with so much manpower and so much enthusiasm, that it feels like a definite wasted opportunity to not be like, hey, let's just regularly update this. Like, if you had the sort of regular updates that went into a game like Destiny, like um, Destiny, they have all these, monthly bulletins, weekly bulletins, whatever they might be, and they're constantly like tweaking and adapting the playlists and listening to fan feedback. I feel like if you had that with Master Chief Collection, it would just be an absolute winning formula, and they could knock it out of the park. Um, and to see more Forge maps added regularly and to see them listen to it, I really wish they had like a couple community members that just kept on top of all of that. I get that they have to split their efforts among several games, plus they have to work on Halo 3 and then the eventual Halo 4. But it's just I have way too much enthusiasm for this game right now, so like of course I want to dream a little bit bigger, you know what I mean? But anyway, I've been Modest Major. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I will see you guys next video.